Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, second video of the day, this time not to speak that much about Juventus, we'll speak about the post-game of Ukraine 0, Italy 0, a bit about Juventus a bit later when we'll analyze a bit the performance of Federico Chiesa that I tell you immediately was excellent today in that 4-3-3, but also the few minutes of Moiskin, but mainly and firstly we'll speak about the post-game of Ukraine 0, Italy 0. 1 point was enough for Italy to qualify to Euro 2024. In what way they did it, we will speak about it because there is a real huge big dubious episode in the beginning. Before speaking about that episode, let's settle the debate. I am Italian and I'm extremely happy, of course, that Italy qualified for two reasons. The first one I just spoiled to because I am Italian and a competition without Italy is absolutely not the same. And I can tell you, especially after missing the last two World Cups in 2018 and 2022, a competition without Italy is absolutely not the same. Italy has always to participate, has always to be there. Now, there is a second reason, and that second reason, of course, is that Italy is title holder. They won the last edition of the Euro in 2021, that was called Euro 2020. They had to participate, according to me. The one that wins that title, they should at least have the opportunity to defend their title. Well, the rules are changed, are not the same as in the past. Now you have to deserve it on the field, and Italy finishing second in Group C, they have the right to defend it in Germany. Today the game was played in Germany, so because you know it, the problems with Ukraine, so they were playing in a neutral stadium in Germany that was full of people from Ukraine that were supporting their team from the first until the last minute. Italy will go back to Germany, but how did they do it? How did they do it? If we are looking at the group stages, Group C, England first with 20 points, and then you have two teams that are equal. Italy with 14, Ukraine with 14, equal points, but it's Italy that goes to the competition. Ukraine is at the moment not eliminated. They will have the right to play these kinds of playoff to maybe, hopefully for them, go to the competition. And I have to say that I don't know who against who they will play in the playoff, but I hope they will make it. Why? Because in a way they were kind of robbed. So let's start immediately to speak about that episode before speaking about the game. Ragazzi, I am Italian, you know it, I'm happy, you know it, I already told you. But I have to be honest. I have to be extremely honest. At the 92nd minute, I don't know if you watched it or not, but there is Mudryk that entered the box. Cristante tries to take the ball, is taking the player, that is probably a bit exaggerating the dive, but is taking the player. 92nd minute, if there is a penalty, and of course they need to score it because we don't know if they would score it or not, but if they take that penalty at the 92nd minute, if they score, it's over. It's over, because then it's Ukraine that goes immediately to the Euro and Italy that will have to play these playoffs that are always dangerous. We remember the last one where we played against North Macedonia to qualify to 2020 and we failed. We didn't qualify. 0-0 at the 92nd minute in a huge important game like that, when there is a huge big contrast, the referee is saying, wait, calma, continue to play, because the ball is not out of the game, so he can't just intervene. He was waiting for VAR to give him a sign, or that the ball went out to go back to VAR. The VAR didn't call him. They didn't call him. They didn't tell him, go to the television, stop the game. There is a dubious facts or not. Apparently they checked. They said it was okay. It was okay. Continue to play. If you are watching again the images, I can't show you here because of copyright, of course. But if you are watching the game, I challenge one of you in the chat to tell me that this is not a penalty. It makes me extremely happy that Italy qualified, but in the same time extremely sad. Why? Because I love football, and you know it. I love Juventus, I am a Juventino, I am Italian, whatever you want to, but I love sport, I love football, and I love when things are fair. And I always complained about how France qualified to the World Cup 2010 when they were already playing that playoff, and when Thierry Henry, ex-Juve, that was not playing at Juve at that moment, touched the ball with a hand and brought actually the ball in the goal against Ireland with a hand. They qualified for the World Cup. It was a total disaster because I don't know if you remember or not, but France did a really disaster World Cup, making 1 point out of 3 games against Uruguay, and the 2 other games they lost. Also, they lost against South Africa, whatever. Total disaster World Cup of France in 2010. But if I criticized, and I'm still criticizing 13 years later, that goal of Thierry Henry, ragazzi, I have to be honest and say that here, it's not that Italy, the team, the players, Cristante, Chiesa, Donnarumma, they stole something because they made the mistake. They did the mistake. They did a foul. But it's VAR that is not going. It's the referee that is not intervening. It made me a bit smile when I see at a certain moment Gravina in the stand walking because he was stressed if Italy would qualify or not. You know why it's making me extremely sad? Because I'm a lover of football. I hate losing, but I try to be respectful. I try to be consequent, and this is a penalty. Then he can go Mudryk on another one. He can miss the penalty. We never know what happens. But according to me, this has to be a penalty. And if Italy lose that game, then they have to play against a playoff against a team and try to qualify on the field. I'm extremely sad about that. For me, it's a big drama. Let's see how media will speak about it. Because according to me, they should say, ragazzi, honestly, this was a penalty. And we are lucky to qualify immediately without going to the playoff. Now, without going with conspiracy theory and whatever, because we don't care, I want to speak about the game. A game where we played at 4-3-3 with Federico Chiesa in the trio on the left side with Barella, Jorginho, Fratesi in the middle. So there was no Federico Gatti because he has been replaced by Alessandro Buongiorno, the defender of Torino. If I speak about Buongiorno, he did a really, really great game and also a difficult game for him. Why? Because at the 6th minute, because of Italy attacking so much in the initial minutes of the game, he was on one-on-one against a player from Ukraine, and he did that yellow card. So all game long he had that yellow card over his head, and it could have been dangerous because he knew it. He couldn't go that much, that strong, otherwise he would have booked twice, and then leaving his teammates after 15-20 minutes of the game would have been a total disaster for Italy. Luckily, but he played really great, also anticipating the strikers. What a beautiful player. Alessandro Buongiorno played extremely well. Of course, I'm a bit sad that Federico Gatti didn't play today, but if I speak about Italy entirely, Buongiorno played well. What about Donnarumma? Well, he's saving us twice with beautiful saves. But Donnarumma, mamma mia, at a certain moment there is a throw-in from Ukraine that they go immediately into the box. And he has that moment of hesitation. Should I go? Should I not go? I watch it like 5 times in a row. It's a total disaster. A world-class goalkeeper like that can't hesitate. Or you go, or you don't go. But you can't hesitate like that. And luckily, Donnarumma is then saving the shot of Mudryk that is coming from the left. Luckily, he's putting it in corner kick and there is no goal for Italy. But this is a disaster mistake. And when I watch the game, I always tell to my son, I love Donnarumma. I would have loved to have him at Juve. But what you have with Donnarumma is that you know it's a guarantee. Like Bentancur, that always have a yellow card. Well, Donnarumma is always doing one mistake. And if you are lucky, it's not a goal. But one mistake per game, it's a total guarantee. Disaster. Anyway, if we speak about our players, Federico Chiesa, excellent. I think that he was the best player of Italy in that role, in that 4-3-3, Federico Chiesa that had to go out of the game because it was exhausted. He couldn't anymore. And why? Because Chiesa at a certain moment he was kind of playing in the total left wing, up, down, up, down, up, down. Why? Because there is Federico Di Marco that is always doing the kind of Cambiaso role. So he's always going towards the center of the field, leaving that flank alone. It's not that Di Marco wants to do that because he likes to do it. It's because these are the tactics of Spalletti. Spalletti is asking him to really go towards the center of the field to actually make Federico Chiesa super wide on the field, Chiesa entering and having a dialogue with Di Marco. What is the problem, of course, that we saw in the second half, that a few times Ukraine, they go in counter-attack, and it was not Di Marco that was super second striker at that moment, but it was Federico Chiesa that had to go down, and luckily he did it. So according to me, Chiesa did a fantastic performance up and down. Offensively, the most dangerous one of the Italian ones, and also defensively, going up and down. Hopefully, he can recuperate energy because on Sunday we play against Inter, but he gave everything for the team. Beautiful dribbles, beautiful shots. He tried to be really dangerous. I really liked Federico Chiesa in today's game. Sincerely, again, I hope he still has a bit of energy for Sunday. A total different Federico Chiesa when he's playing on that wing, that when he's playing with Juve, that at the moment we know it. We are looking for balance. We are first looking to not concede and trying to go in counter-attack. If he can have that positivity, also these kind of runs that he was doing at a certain moment, up and down, I would really appreciate it, because the Federico Chiesa that I saw in the 2 games against North Macedonia and today was a Chiesa that was fantastic. Now, I want to speak about Spalletti. Spalletti, that according to me was a bit crazy, because Italy pushed so much to go and score that goal, that we are all happy. At the end, we didn't find it. It finished 0-0. We are risking, because if that's a penalty, it's beautiful. The beautiful game, attacking brings you goal and whatever and wins you game. But it's dangerous, because we gave Ukraine a few dangerous chances. I don't know if I'm honest or not on that one, but I think that at the end, Ukraine was more dangerous than Italy. 17 attempts for Italy with 2 shots on target, 7 shots for Ukraine, so much less than Italy, but 4 times they went on target. And if that penalty is given, it's over. You forget it. And you know what I didn't appreciate from Spalletti? It's at a certain moment in second half, I believe it was the 75th minute, there were a few changes. Federico Chiesa went out of the game. And there is Di Marco that is asking to Spalletti, what should I do? Should I continue to insist to what you told me to enter from the center and going scoring? Where Spalletti is telling him, yes, but a bit more cautious. But no, Spalletti. Or you say yes and you go, or you say no. But it's at 0-0. And that's really dangerous when you are telling your defender, go, try when you think that it's okay. No, or you go or you don't go. But that's really a dangerous one. But on the other side, I think that even Spalletti, the master of the beautiful game, at a certain moment, he said, you know what? It starts to be extremely dangerous here. And instead of doing stupid things, if I can defend, I will defend. Why? Because there is Politano that is entering at the 71st minute for Zaniolo that was injured. Zaniolo that played a really great first half. Second half, he was really out of energy. And then he's injured, he goes out. Luckily, we didn't side Zaniolo because it's always the same. But anyway, then in the end of the game, at the 90th minute, what is he doing? He's putting Politano out. So Politano played 20 minutes. He entered at the 70th, at the 90th, he was out. To put who? To put Darmian. Why? To try to defend that score, that 0-0. So you see, it's great to play, it's great to attack, but at a certain moment, the philosophy is, if I need to choose between going with one more striker for the sake of beautiful football, or I put a defender in to defend a 0-0 that will bring us to Germany, I know what to choose. And I believe that, that's an important. It's there where you see what is counting the most. That's in these decisive moments that you really understand what decided the most. And at the moment, I believe that every single coach, but also Guardiola, that is a lover of the beautiful game, is telling you, every single coach that is playing football, they all have one thing in mind. It's the result. Then there are ways to arrive to that result, but result is on top of everything, is winning. Did I want to speak about one? I told you about Zaniolo, Chiesa. I think that Spalletti made a huge mistake, and actually was really upset about the mistake that he did. It was to change Raspadori actually to put in Scamacca. He wanted to diversify the game in second half. He wanted to try to go with centimeters, with muscles, with energy, with strength. And it was a total change of the second half, where Italy played less good. They were, yes, more dominant. They were, yes, in possession. They were risking much more, but they were playing in a really confusing way, arriving to the goal, and then they didn't really knew what to do. Much better with Raspadori as that falso 9. I really like the performance of Jorginho in the first half, even in the beginning of the second half as well. It's a player that that I don't like that much, but I have to admit that until he was on the field, he did really well. But Di Marco is a fantastic player as well, we know it. Di Lorenzo played well as well. No, I have to say that Italy played well. I'm super happy about their performance. I think that Spalletti at a certain moment made a few mistakes with that change of Scamacca, with asking Di Marco to go too much up, and Chiesa had to do everything. But at the end, look, Italy qualified. I'm happy. The way how that penalty... I will not say too much. I already said I don't want to repeat, but it's something that it's not really correct. Anyway, during the Euro, we'll speak about Italy, and we'll speak about Euro 2024 here on the channel. Grazie, forza Italy, forza Azzurra, forza Italia, forza Juventus.